Good evening, this is Keyshawn Goldmus, and today I'll be presenting on how to manage an IT outsourcing alliance. So the purpose of this article is to provide a concrete framework to help senior managers think about IT outsourcing and focus on how to manage the alliances to ensure success. So why outsourcing alliances are difficult? They're generally difficult because of the contracts are structured and long-term. They generally average for about 10 years, and those types of rigid deals make less economic sense as time passes because industry demands and advancements are fluid. For the outsourcer, long-term contracts work economically to prevent switching cost issues. So essentially there's conflicts between the timing benefits for the customer and the outsourcer. Also, limited outsourcing options such as the fact that there are only a few outsourcers that have critical mass access to capital markets to undertake large contracts. And those organizations include EDS, CSC, IBM, and AT&T. Also, something else that makes it difficult is the technological changes, of course. Technology changes, by leaps and bounds in short periods of time. And of course, that makes having outsourcing alliance difficult because it requires constant change and constant planning so that we can adapt to the technological changes. Outsourcing in retrospect. So IT outsourcing dates back to the 1960s. ADP began as a small punch card payroll company in 1949, and it grew to a $3 billion organization by specializing in large volume standard transaction type activities such as payroll and handling proxy solicitations, almost 100% of the industry. Software contracting companies like Andersen Consulting in the private sector and CSC in the public sector developed large turnkey applications for firms that required either specialized staff or a large number of people, which the firm found was inconvenient, imprudent, or impossible to retain. EDS is a state and local government sector. It provided full outsourcing for organizations whose cultures and salary scales made it impossible to attract people with the necessary skills in a competitive job market. So outsourcing has been something that's been taking place for some time now. It's not necessarily new, but it's definitely evolving to meet the needs of the industries. Now, the benefits of strategic alliances. They allow a company to simplify its management agenda safely. They also allow a firm to leverage a key part of the value chain by bringing in a strong partner that complements its skills. Its partnerships also create an opportunity to innovate synergistically. So basically, the whole ends up being greater than the sum of the parts. So, when we link up, we become stronger. In essence, it's kind of like we're better together. So also, another benefit is that successful alliances increase a firm's confidence in undertaking new alliances in other parts of the value chain as a profitable way to do business. So the experience basically gives a firm confidence. So as they, gain or see themselves succeeding in one strategic alliance, it gives them the confidence to go ahead and try it out in other areas. Now, what drives outsourcing? One of the primary factors that drive outsourcing is general managers' concerns about cost and equality. Another is tighter overhead cost controls of fringe benefits, a more aggressive use of low-cost labor pools by creatively using geography, tough world-class standards applied to the company's existing staff, all of whom have to requalify for appointment at the time of outsourcing. More effective bulk purchasing and leasing arrangements for all aspects of the hardware-software configuration through discounts and better use of capacity, better management of excess hardware capacity, better control over software licenses through both negotiations and realistic examination, better control over software licenses through both negotiation and realistic examinations. Simply the hustling, the ability to run with a leaner management structure because of increased competencies and critical mass volumes of work. and also creative and more realistic structuring of leases. So those are some of the things that drive outsourcing and cause managers or businesses to decide that they want to go ahead and partner with other organizations. Now, when to outsource? When's the best time to outsource IT? Basically, as the budget grows and the contract becomes more important to the outsourcer, that's when it's time. Also, when the application's development portfolio is filled with maintenance work or projects that are valuable but not vitally important to the firm, then it's beneficial to transfer some of those tasks to partners who hold few strategic risks. The farther that a company is from the network era in its internal use of IT, the more useful it is to outsource as well. That's the way that you can close the gap. And also, the more the firm is operationally dependent on IT, the more sense that it makes to outsource. All right, now structuring the alliance. Key factors to consider would be contract flexibility, the standards of control, areas to outsource. You definitely want to consider, what do we or what don't we want to outsource. Cost savings is a key factor to consider. Supplier stability and quality, the manager fit, because that's going to be important, and then also conversion problems. So what's the most important takeaway from this article? Managing IT outsourcing alliance requires deep understanding of the challenges and complexities that are common to the process. I'd say that was one of the key takeaways, is that it's a real complex process, to outsource and to establish an alliance. And so you want to make sure that you're fully aware of some of those challenges that exist and what barriers there, so that you can prepare to overcome them. Do I think this article is outdated? No, I actually think the information that was discussed in the article was relevant. It provided critical guidance on how to effectively manage the outsourcing of IT. So I definitely would say that it's a relevant article. And how does this article tie into the assigned readings for this lesson? Well, this week's readings discuss IT planning objectives and the functions and responsibilities of the IT department. So the article can be used as a tool for IT managers when assessing their organization's outsourcing needs. It can also be used to help gain insight on how to prepare for potential challenges associated with those alliances. And how can I apply what I've learned to my job situations? And I'd say, really, for me, this was more an informative article that helped me to have a bit more understanding. I would say the most that I would probably use the content for is to provide feedback and recommendations or suggestions when I'm working with planning committees. All right, now here's my reference from McFarland and Noland. If you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to speaking with you guys. Have a great evening. Thank you.